It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Vault City Brewing, and this is their raspberry, strawberry, coconut, ripple, 6% ABV. It's not even describing itself as a beer at this stage. Oh, no, it is modern sour beer. Now, I'm going to go into this beer review. I picked this beer up in Tesco. I went to look for the Tesco's Northern Monk Imperial Stouts and the Vocation Mint Chocolate Imperial Stout, the barrel-aged version. And whilst I was there, I seen that Vault City had a new beer. Now, Vault City have brought a couple of beers out into Tesco over the last 6 months or so. And I decided because I wasn't really a fan to give those beers a miss. But I always look, and I picked this up and I contemplated. I stood there looking at this beer and I thought, I just have to give this a go. I'm that curious about this beer that I have to give it a go. Now, it cost me between £3.50 and £4 a can. I've got no idea what this beer is going to taste like, but what I will say is that I'm going into this beer review with an open mind. I always go into my beer reviews with an open mind. It probably won't be to my style, but I'm going into it with an open mind. Now, what I'm looking at here is there's no real, sometimes you can really kind of like squeeze a can. This can feels under a lot of pressure, and it's saying there's fresh fruit concentrate locked in, so shake to wake. There's no way shake to wake. There's no way that I want to shake this can. This under quite a bit of pressure. I reckon if I shook that can, it might blow my hand off. Like you're shaking a grenade or something. I'm not doing it. So what I'll do is swirl the can up once I poured most of the beer in, and I'll dump it in the glass. That's what you're going to get from me. So here we go then. Yeah, it wasn't too bad actually. I think there's always a real danger. If there's any yeast left in these cans and the amount of fruit that they add to the beer, it's a recipe to blow your hand off. It really is. I mean, if that yeast starts re-fermenting the sugars from the fruit, it'd probably blow Tesco's up. Shake to wake, here we go then. I mean, can you imagine if I shook that beer? Look at the carbonation just from pouring that beer. Can you imagine if I shook it and then poured it in? Just absolutely bonkers. So what do we have in the glass? We have a 4-finger pinky coloured head. The beer in the glass looks like what my grandfather used to kind of make, like homemade fruit wines. They would look like this when they poured into the glass. Very tasty, very lovely, but I mean, this is looking like yogurt to me. This is looking like a muller or something, Open mind though, open mind. I've not even tasted it yet. Let's get the aroma. Now, it smells absolutely delicious. It really does. I mean, the raspberry is on point. The raspberry is just mouth-puckeringly, and I've not tasted it yet. It smells incredible. I'm a big fan of raspberry. I'm just reading the ingredients. Raspberry, strawberry, coconut, ripple. It smells like a delicious fruit wine. It really does. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. I'm not really picking up much coconut. I'm picking up quite a bit of strawberry and raspberry. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. know, maybe I'm old. Maybe I'm just old, you know, maybe I'm just like kind of, I mean, look at the fruit. Look at the fruit in this beer. Just, look at it. Look at, I just put that to my lips. That's where my lips went. Look at the fruit. Bonkers. It's, the mouthfeel is, it feels like it's floating. It doesn't quite feel like the liquid is kind of, it feels like it doesn't want to touch. It feels like it's floating in your mouth. Big, massive flavours of raspberry and strawberry. As for the coconut, I suppose that's there too. It's like a toasted coconut flavour. I mean, I've not even shook the can yet. I've not even... So, I was in this kind of like... I was in the Czech Republic recently, and they were serving beers with massive heads on them, with a little bit of foam, lots of foam, a little bit of beer in the bottom, and they were calling this beer the British man's heart attack. You know, where you don't want much of a head on your beer, you want lots of beer. That's how we serve beer. This very much feels like a very similar concept as like being served a beer with lots of foam, like you do in the Czech Republic. It's not what we're used to as British people. We know what we're supposed to get from beer when it's served to us. And if you think about it like that, if you think about being served a glass of foam in a Czech bar, and then being served this, which again is completely alien. This is completely alien to most UK drinkers. Then it's a very similar concept. It's a concept of almost kind of like try something different. Beer doesn't always have to look and feel and be like this. What I'm trying to do, I'm trying to be as open-minded and as fair and as modern, if you like, as these brewers, because I know when I go to Brew London, Vault City are the first people to sell out. They will sell out their beer by 12 o'clock midday. The queue will be a mile long. It'll be full of people 12 years younger than me, maybe 17 years younger than me, full of 20-year-olds ordering glasses of this, and it'll sell out. It'll be gone, finished, gone, 12 o'clock. They got to wait for the next day to get their beer. So there is a demand for it. There is a market for it. But at the same time, is it beer? It's a struggle. It's like it's a mental. I don't know if it's a massive mental block on my part. I can imagine on a hot summer's day having a freezing cold glass of this, 2 degrees, barely above freezing, boiling hot sunshine. This will be magic. This will be, oh my goodness me, get this down full of fruit, lovely. But is it a beer? I mean, look at it. Is it a beer? Is it a beer? It's blooming good. It's blooming good stuff. It really is. I'm glad. I almost wish they didn't call it modern sour beer at the bottom. I almost wish it wasn't in the beer aisle. I almost wish I wasn't asking these questions in the first place. Is it beer? Does it matter? It's got to sit somewhere. It can't sit... I mean, could this sit on the wine aisle? I'm going to go back to my original thinking. I am going to go back to my original thinking where I was when I last reviewed a Vault City beer, a Vault City Brewing liquid. And I'm going to stick with my guns of, I firmly believe that they need to come up with their own category for this liquid. Call it yogurt liquid. Call it alcoholic fruit juice. Call it thick, sludgy, fruity, alcoholic liquid that tastes divine. Let's not get away from the fact that this tastes absolutely terrific. But I don't think it should be sitting in the beer aisle. I don't think it should be sitting in the beer aisle. It's not beer. It's not beer. It's something else. It's something else. I don't think modern sour beer is the right name for this style. It's not sour enough. You cannot rely on the sourness from fruit, the natural sharpness of fruit, to call this a sour beer. If you have beer from Belgium, sour beer from Belgium, knocks your socks off with the sourness. This, the sourness, it's barely there, barely there. I've said it now on a number of occasions regarding Vault City. If anybody's watching from Vault City, I am not picking on you guys in any way, shape or form. I love this liquid. I love it. I think it's terrific. 2 degrees on a hot day, that's going to go down wonderfully well. I love it. But it's not beer. It's simply not beer. Not in my eyes. It's almost as if they've gone down this lazy route of saying, we'll call it a modern sour beer. We'll invent our own style. I think they should have gone down another road. They should have gone down another road of calling it a sour beer. People are going to get so confused. I'm going to give it 2 ratings. 2 ratings today. I'm going to say, as an alcoholic fruit liquid juice thing, it's amazing. It's a 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. I drink that all day long on a hot summer's day at 2 degrees. Pardon me, 2 degrees. As a beer, as a sour beer, it's miles off. It's miles off. It's more like a 3 out of 10. 3 out of 10 in terms of, is it a beer? Is it a sour beer? It's none of those things. If you were a judge at a beer festival, you would not tick the box beer. You would not tick the box sour beer. You just wouldn't tick those boxes. And for that reason, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10. But I reiterate, as an alcoholic fruit smoothie thing, 10 out of 10. It's wonderful. Please, Vault City, I've said it before, I'll say it again. please come up with another. Please put it in another category. Please stop calling it beer. It's not beer. Thanks for watching. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.